So I want to start by thanking Grant and the whole team that put this event together. Innovation is a lifeblood for aesthetics, as we all know, and I know how much work goes into this event, so I just really appreciate you doing this and highlighting it and giving us a chance to tell our story, so really thanks. All right, so we're going to talk about Rion Aesthetics today and tell you a little bit about our story and kind of where we came from. And as you guys know, a company is all about the people, so I'm really going to start with our founders that I have the privilege to work with every day. These guys are regenerative medicine experts. They've been working in stem cell labs for years. In fact, if you Google Dr. Terzik, he's famous. I think his publications have been cited like 10,000 times. And their vision was really to democratize regenerative medicine. So the reason why there's a picture of Rion, Greece there is that Dr. Terzik had some family members that were sick in a remote area of Greece. And his goal was to be able to have regenerative medicine no matter where you are. So off the shelf, stable, no freezing, no thawing. Now, obviously, that's a huge, huge undertaking, and I think anyone in this audience that's had a family member themselves that have had any type of regenerative medicine, you guys know it's expensive, there's freezing, there's thawing, it's completely inconsistent. And in fact, if you actually look at all the publications, only about 5 to 10% of people that get stem cell therapy actually see benefits. So there's all these people that are super frustrated. So our founders really wanted to study these people that walked across the stage, the ones everyone was excited about that they'd done so well with stem cell therapy. So they spent a lot of time in the cardiovascular space looking at the studies and trying to understand what was different. And the discovery was that these patients had an overabundance of these regenerative exosomes. So great, we figured it out. It's not the stem cells, it's these regenerative exosomes that are signaling the stem cells, causing this healing, but how do we get those? So that started the problem, right? How do we get these wonderful kind of regenerative exosomes? And our founders started playing with platelets. And if you think about it, when you cut yourself, the first responder to the wound is the platelet, right? They're full of these regenerative exosomes. So we knew that that could be a really, really good source. But what's happening now is, if you go to get PRP where, you're spinning it, we're actually breaking open the exosomes. All the content, all the messages, all the things that you want in the exosomes are actually being destroyed, which is why it's so inconsistent. And so our founders actually found a way, and this is the magic in the manufacturing, a lot of our IP, is how do you basically use the platelets and come up with a way to condition them in a natural state, so you're not changing them, and it's producing them in the pentillions. So you can see there, these are our exosomes, regenerative exosomes, and they're in a shelf-stable vial. Those are a lyophilized powder. I think there's 32 peer-reviewed publications that's out on this. We're in phase 1 trials, moving to phase 2 in many things, and so it's really turned into a business. So this business started in Rochester, Minnesota. I swear that's like the most beautiful one day of the year there, since I get to go there a lot now. But it's over 15 years of research, $150 million in an in-kind investment. We've got a medical arm. So again, phase 1 studies in wound, heart attack patients. We filed for several other areas. And then, of course, there's aesthetics. And then for you guys know me, I love veterinary space. So we actually have canine and equine platelet-derived exosomes as well that we'll be filing with the FDA. So we're going to talk a little bit about aesthetics and what we're doing there. There's 2 main areas. The first is all the FDA applications. So we're really going to focus, despite having tons of ideas of what we can do, on injectable hair restoration and wrinkles. I think we've seen so many presentations on fillers, and if you ask patients, they want something regenerative. So we're really going to focus our applications there, but as we were using and learning and doing all these regenerative studies, we realized we actually had this really cool platelet extract that would be great in skincare. So we actually have a commercialized product called Plated Skin Science using our Renewosome technology. We actually have 3 SKUs. We most recently launched the Calm, which is a post-procedure, and the other 2 have been out in the market since last year. So we're out selling these only in physician offices right now and really focusing on what these power of platelets are in cosmetic skincare. And of course, given our founders and how important science is, we've done a lot of studies. This is one of our first ones. You're going to see a lot more publications coming. This study was done at Mayo Clinic. We had 56 patients. I'll show you a couple before and afters because we're in aesthetics, so you got to show before and afters. But you can see our publication showed improvements in redness, improvements in wrinkles, luminosity, all the things that people are looking for in a skincare. Here's another before and after. And again, we've got a lot more publications coming out. This was a 6-month study. These are 12-week photos here, but really excited about what we're seeing and what's coming out of the clinical studies. We also did histology in our clinical study. This is just one. We have many that we'll be publishing. It's actually an 80-year-old patient. So if you can see, this is an independent reviewer, 87% improvement in collagen. So you see more blue on the right. That's actually a lot better. That's incredible. So we saw from 40-year-olds to almost 90-year-olds improving collagen. The same thing for elastin. And again, these publications will be coming out, but really excited what we saw on the histology relative to our cosmetic. And then we most recently launched our CALM post-procedure. Actually, Dr. Diane, who's going to be up here in a minute and talked earlier, did the study for us. He'll be publishing the data and doing some speaking, but very excited about what this CALM post-procedure is doing in this market as well. So really appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity to talk. I'm very excited about what we're doing on a commercial basis. And then obviously the FDA indications are going to take us several years. But I think there's a lot of potential in this market for exosomes. I think people want regenerative medicine. So if you want to learn more, follow us on social media. Thank you.